Just want to give a review of the bikepacking route Backroads of Madison County, which is on rockguys.com. It's a 62-mile overnight loop with just under 6,000 feet of climb. It's a really great route, a lot of pavement, just a little bit of gravel. It's made for a gravel bike. Really, you only need 35 millimeter width tires to do this route because, like I said, it's mostly all paved. There's a little bit of gravel. Most all of that's hard packed. The only area where tire width is going to come into question is on the big climb that's on day 2. If you have a little wider tire, you might be able to spend a little more time on the bike, but that is a really steep climb. It's got some really chunky rocks. It's got some mud, and you get into really high grade. So that climb, you're going to be doing some hike-a-bike. So a little wider tire might get you a little more rideability, but most people are still going to be doing quite a bit of hiking there. So really, gravel bike on this route is perfect. Logistics for this route are pretty straightforward and easy. There's 2 main resupply points. That's day 1, about mile marker 8. You're going to pass the gas station where you can load up on whatever supplies you need there. And day 2, you're going to pass through Marshall, which has a grocery store. It's got a couple of restaurants, has a bike shop. That bike shop also has food. So plenty of stuff to stock up on Marshall, and was able to get a really nice hot meal, which is kind of one of the highlights of the route. There's also, you're going to pass some churches and things, so you can load up on water there, resupply your water. So you can get through the whole route without filtering just fine. But if you're someone who filters water, then there's really no need to worry about logistics because you're going to be passing enough water where you can filter just about anywhere. The camping spot was one of the highlights of the route. It's got a covered awning section so you can sleep under that. It's got a picnic table so you can spread everything out. Had a grill, had a fire pit, composting toilet. There's no potable water there, but you're right next to the river, so you can clean off all your gear and yourself. And that's also where they have some trash cans, so any trash you accumulate overnight at your campsite, you can just go over there in the morning, throw everything away before you hit the road. The camp owner was super nice. He came out, he stocked the site with firewood, and he even added some more firewood while I was out there. And I wasn't really planning on starting a fire, so I didn't bring anything with me. So he started the fire, and we hung out and talked about some of those old camping trips back in the day and whatnot. So really enjoyed that. The site's pretty expensive for one person, but whether it's one person or 10 people, it's the same price. So it gets pretty affordable pretty quick if you're going with a group. Parking super easy. I just parked at Rock Guys headquarters, sent them an email. They were cool with it, and then I actually stopped in there before I left, talked to them. They made the route. The guy who made the route was working, so we chit-chatted. He kind of warned me, hey, that climb on day 2 is a beast. And he wasn't lying, so that was a good that was a good heads up. And I actually got their microwave panniers while I was there, and I've been using those ever since. Really love those. So great kicking off point. I think there's a coffee shop right next door to them. So car was safe overnight. Left from there. There's more pavement than you're going to see on any bikepacking.com route for sure, but really it's Backroads of Madison County for a reason. It is back roads. They are pretty quiet. I felt comfortable, safe the whole time. It's right outside of Asheville, so they see lots of bikers. Drivers seem to be really good. I know it only takes one jerk, but they're very familiar with bikers, and it's really low traffic. So felt comfortable the whole time on my bike, and I think that's another reason why it's approachable to anyone. The route length, the terrain, any bike kind of person can do this route. So, with resupply and camping being very doable, whether you're new to bikepacking, whether you're super experienced, you can get through this route. Yes, it's going to have some climbing, but you'll get through it just fine. And there's only one hike and bike section, and that's that climb on day 2. But even then, on that climb, you're getting some great views. So really makes the whole thing worth it. And if you are one of those new bike packers, while I was in Rock Ice, I saw you could rent some gear from them. So I think it's really approachable for anyone. And if you're thinking about getting into bike packing, yeah, it's a great way to start because you can just rent some gear from them and head out there on whatever bike you got will do the job. On day 1, you are going to pass a cemetery. It's marked out on the. You're going to pass a couple cemeteries, but there's one that's marked out on the route. Really suggest you hiking up to the top of that cemetery, and they have a great overlook there. You got great mountain views. I really enjoyed that. You see some old headstones and whatnot. Uh, Really cool place to stop. Leave the bike down below because it's a pretty steep hike up there, but well worth it. Very cool spot. I'm glad they put that on the map. I really enjoyed this route. Aesthetically, has 2 of my favorite views. I love the country views and mountain views, and you're getting them both on this ride. So really great aesthetically. Water, you're passing water to cool off, jump in, clean off, cool off, and then really nice camping spot. Um, Good food and Marshall on day 2, and then when you're done with your route, uh, you're right next to Asheville. So if you want to get some good food when the ride's over too, uh, really enjoyable route. Uh, like I said, more gravel or more pavement than anything you're going to see on bikepacking.com, but I like the change. I like that there is stuff other than just bikepacking.com. That's what makes it a community. So seeing some of those other resources like Single Track Samurai, like Rockgeist, uh, really is what makes this more of a community than just a single resource. So I really appreciate them making this route. I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to doing some other routes that are on their website, and looking forward to getting out there. I'll put a link to the route in the description, and there's also a link if you want to watch the video of that ride so you can see what the actual visuals are and see if it's something you might be interested in. But can't recommend it enough. I really enjoyed it. I think you'll really enjoy it. So if you did it or are planning to do it, let me know how it goes.